and today this is part 2 of my beginners short series. So if you haven't done my Pilates fundamentals, which is not a part of it, but that will help you understand Pilates in a lot more detail, the fundamentals, the basics, how you should hold yourself, how to breathe in Pilates, obviously how to breathe. Go and check that video out, I'll link it down below. And if you haven't done part 1, I'll link that down below as well, and you can quickly go and do that and then join it onto this, or you may be doing them separately, and that is absolutely fine as well. So if you haven't already, make sure you go and click the subscribe button and the bell button down below so you don't miss out on any of my weekly videos. And when you're ready, we're going to start side lying. So in part 1, we was laying on our back and seated. Part 2, we're going to be on our side and on our front. So when you're ready, bring yourself down onto your side, onto your forearms. If this is really uncomfortable, you can lay down into the mat, and I'll show you a different option in just a second. But you can use the back of your mat just to be a guide. So your elbow, your hips, and your feet, which are now tucked behind with your knees bent, are now lined with the back of the mat. Now you may find here that you're slanting with the hips. You want to make sure your hips, both hips, are facing forwards. So really important here, and we're not dropping back. Make sure your shoulder is not rounding forwards, it's not sinking back, and we're also not sinking into our shoulder here. We're lifting up. So that sense of having our belt strapped back around our waist. We're breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. We have that sense of our pelvic floor zipping up 20 to 30%. And our back isn't in an extreme arch or sinking back. It's lovely and neutral. Let's take a deep breath in, and you can have your hand in a fist or flat. Deep breath in. On the exhale, just see if you can lift your hips up and off of the mat without sinking into your shoulder, and slow to lower back down. Now if this is feeling too much, you may want to lower down to the mat, take your arm above the head, and just practice arching a little bit here, and bring it back down, so a tiny little lift through the waist. Otherwise, continue in here. If you want to add an arm reach, then you can. We can lift the arm up as we lift the hips, and slow to lower. And again, we can lift the arm and slow to lower. Let's do that 2 more times. Reach and lower down. So really feeling that through the waist. Last one. And lower down. Lovely. Just bring yourself all the way down into the mat, and just place your underneath arm where it's most comfortable, and you may want to rest into a pillow. Keep the underneath leg bent for now, but just straighten that top leg out nice and long, making sure your hips haven't dropped back. That's still nice and hip bones facing forwards, and our waist is nice and lifted. And just place your top arm in front, either resting on a book or just in front if it's okay, to give you a little bit of support. Deep breath in. Exhale, just lift that top leg just a little bit to hip level, and just imagine someone's pulling that leg to the other end of the room, and lower back down. And let's go again. Exhale, lifting up, reach that leg nice and long, and slow to lower. This time keep it lifted. We're going to flex our foot. Exhale, swing the leg forwards. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, point the foot and go back, and come back to center. What you don't want to do is lose that height, drop and then lift back up. We want to try and keep the same height. And if you're starting to wobble, I just want you to make that swing a little bit smaller, and swing forward. The idea is to keep your balance, and if you have your arm by your side as well, you're going to notice it's even more challenging to stay balanced. Good, back hasn't changed position. Let's do that one last time. Swing forwards. And point to go back. Lovely, hug that leg in. And let's do the same on to the other side. So just coming up, switching over onto your other side. Coming down onto your forearm or lower down with that other option. Just move down, feet, hips, elbow line with the back of the mat. Hand in front on the hip, or you can reach it up. Deep breath in. Exhale. Lifting the hips. We're not sinking into our shoulder. And control to come down. Good again. Lifting up. And lower. Legs stay together. Add a little side reach if you want to. And slow to lower down. Reaching again. Coming up. Lift. Great for upper body strength. Let's do 3 more. And lower with control. The key is control. Keep that waist lifted. We got 2. We got last one. And lower down. Bring yourself all the way down to the mat. Keep the underneath legs bent for a little bit more support if you need to. And straighten that top leg out, dropping it down. I'm going to move up slightly because I've got my lovely cushions there. Okay, waist nice and lifted. We're not dropping back, we're not tilting forwards. Arm wherever feels comfortable. Lift. On the exhale, bring the leg up to hip level. Reach the leg long. Inhale, lower. Exhale again, lift. Reaching a little longer. And lower down. Good, let's do that a couple more times. Lift, reach longer. So your waist, it doesn't necessarily have to come off of the mat, but definitely want to be pulling it up, engaging through that core. Keep your leg at hip level, deep breath in. Exhale, swing the leg in front, flex the foot. Come back to center, deep breath in. Exhale, go back. Try not to roll back here, okay? Let's go again. Flex. Deep breath in, center. Exhale, go back. And you're gonna find there's a side that feels more challenging and a side where you feel more stable. And that's fine too. Everyone's gonna have a side that feels a bit different. Let's go 2 more times, swing. Making that movement smaller if you're losing your balance, especially as we reach back. My hip went a little bit there as well. So try to stay steady. And bring that leg in. Lovely, bring yourself over onto your front. And we're gonna take our hands up. So we're gonna come up into 4-point kneeling just to finish. So nice short routines that you can put together. Hands underneath your shoulders, shoulder width apart. Knees underneath the hips, hip distance apart. And I just want you to round all the way up into a lovely cat stretch where you're just creating this lovely C curve. Toes are untucked and sink down the opposite way, not putting too much pressure into the lower back. Just do that again. Just feel those 2 extremes. And remember your pelvic floor is still engaged. Your belt muscle around your waist still switched on. Now we want to find our neutral spine. So somewhere in between those 2 extremes. We're not sinking into the shoulders. Press the hands away. We're not tucking under. We're not looking up too much. Just take a deep breath in. I just want you to imagine you've got a tray on your back. On the exhale, run your fingertips along the mat and lift the arm to shoulder height. If that feels too much, keep it on the mat. Bring it in. So your aim is to stay steady and almost feel like you don't want to move the rest of the body because you want to keep that tray nice and balanced. Just do that one more time on the other side. Good. Moving through to the legs.
Reach the leg nice and long. Now we don't want to swivel. And lift the leg if you can to hip level. If that's too much, keep it on the mat. Make sure you haven't dropped into your lower back. Lower that leg down. Switch to the other side. Reach the leg long, get your balance. Lift to hip level. Tap down. Come back in. One more time to each side. And come back. Switch. Come back. If you need to sit back onto the heels. Give the wrists a rotate. Let's see if we can put both together. Remember, you can keep the hands and the feet on the mat. Reach on the exhale. Either stay here or use your core even more to lift. Tap down. Come back in. Switch to the other side. Reach long. Lift. Tap. I almost went then. Hug again. Reach. Reach even longer. Really using your core to keep your balance. One more time on each side. Reach long. Don't let your back move. Last one. And come back. Sitting back. Reaching nice and long. Give those wrists a rotate. And slowly roll up. Give those shoulders a little roll. Well done, everyone. If you haven't, you can piece those both together. You can do them separately. Go back and forth between them. And I do have a stretch and relaxation video, which I'll link down below as well if you want to do that as well. Other than that, I hope to see you in my next video. Take care. Bye for now.